Alaska, a land so vast it defies the imagination. A wildness so profound it draws you back to your place in nature. People that warm the heart, and a heritage that spans the breadth of human history. Alaska's every dimension stretches the imagination. From its 30,000 miles of convoluted coastline to its countless unnamed peaks. Covering an area 1/5 the size of the continental United States, Alaska's rich geological heritage includes 17 of the 20 highest mountains in the United States, half the world's glaciers, 3 million lakes, and 3,000 meandering rivers. The very size of Alaska encourages diversity in its people. Many communities remain isolated by distance and terrain. And it's this same isolation, the empty spaces on the Alaskan maps, that visitors to Alaska find irresistible. The major highways cover only a small portion of the state, and of these, only a few are open year-round. Many towns are accessible only by plane, or in the case of some northern coastal towns, by barge during the summer months. The airplane plays a major role in all aspects of modern Alaskan life. Owning a small plane is not a luxury reserved for the wealthy, but a commonplace necessity. One of 3 Alaskan citizens has a pilot's license, giving the state more private pilots per capita than anywhere in the world. And instead of a main street, many communities have an airstrip down the center of town. It would be difficult to see very much of Alaska without spending some time in a small plane. Charter air services are readily available throughout the state. Fly-in fishing trips are popular and provide the wilderness experience of a lifetime for the adventurous angler. Those who prefer to explore the more beaten path find that the Alaskan Railroad offers an equally exciting way to venture into the Alaskan wilderness. The train connects Anchorage with Fairbanks by way of Denali or Mount McKinley National Park, and is one of the most popular ways to see the park. The station is just a few yards from the Denali Park Hotel, which is itself built around old railroad cars. Since passenger cars are no longer allowed into the park, the train provides a viable alternative for travel to and from Denali. From the hotel, free shuttle buses commute in and out of the park on a regular basis. South of Anchorage, the Alaskan Railroad serves the stretch along Turnagain Arm to Portage and the fishing village of Seward. But trains and planes are not the only form of transportation used by Alaskans. Dog sleds, once the most comfortable and fastest way to get around in Alaska, have been replaced by the 3-wheelers and snowmobile. But the dog remains an integral part of Indian and Eskimo culture. In nearly every native village, there are racks of salmon drying in the sun, the traditional form of dog food for the dog sled teams. Dog sled racing is Alaska's official state sport, with major races taking place throughout the winter and spring seasons. The world's longest dog sled race, the Iditarod, follows the same grueling 1,000-mile trail that once provided the only overland access across the interior to Nome. Today, this great land can be traversed by glass-domed railroad cars, luxury cruise ships, and the ever-popular ferries plying the marine highway. Of all the waterways in the world, perhaps none can rival the unique beauty of of Alaska's famed Inside Passage. Stretching some 600 miles from Ketchikan to Skagway and encompassing 13,000 miles of coastline, this maze of waterways, islands, and fjords is one of Alaska's most spectacular sights. Here on the Inside Passage, our everyday world dissolves, and we enter a seaborne planet on which forested islands seem to float, a world where the watery fingers of fjords stretch out to distant glaciers. It's a world where a passing bird may be a seagull, or it may be a bald eagle, where whales and porpoises break the calm of a horizon of merging sea and air. The summer sunset in Alaska seems to last forever, and there's no better place to enjoy it than from the deck of a boat on the Inside Passage. The colors shift and change until all the world turns to gold. The town of Ketchikan is the first in a string of Alaskan communities accessible only by sea or air. Although Ketchikan almost never sees snow or ice, it is one of the rainiest places in North America, averaging some 154 inches of rain per year. Despite the rain, Ketchikan is a popular vacation spot, due in part to its outstanding sport fishing and its close proximity to the lower 48. Years before the present town was here, this was a fishing camp for Haida and Tlingit Indians, who left a visible legacy of their proud culture. These mysterious, awe-inspiring totem poles, combining both human and animal forms, are genealogies, stories of family deeds. A symbolic record of a non-literate people, they demonstrate the Indian belief that man is involved in a deep kinship with nature. The totemic animals, the raven, the bear, the shark, the wolf, and the eagle, are not just animals, but true relatives on this earth. Sitka rests at the foot of spruce-covered mountains and overlooks the blue waters of the Sound, where a chain of small wooded islands repeats the endlessly lovely theme of forests meeting sea. Sitka began as a Tlingit Indian village until the Russian Alexander Baranov, the commander of a fur hunting party, built a fort here in 1799. The Tlingit Indians rebelled and in a surprise attack destroyed the fort. Baranov retreated to return with warships and decisively defeated the Indians. Baranov then built a castle on this hill, but only the cannon remains today. Sitka soon became a flourishing town. It was here that the Russian flag was lowered in 1867 when the United States bought all of Alaska from Russia for the then outrageous price of $7.2 million, less than 3 cents an acre. Sitka became the capital of the new territory until the early 1900s, when it was moved to Juneau. Timber, fishing, and government keep Sitka thriving, and tourism is growing. St. Michael's Church is one of the finest examples of rural Russian architecture in Alaska. When this 150-year-old building burned down in 1966, the people saved the doors and priceless icons and rebuilt the church exactly. This stately building is the first of 5 homes the state of Alaska has built for its older citizens. The Old Pioneers' Home honors the original settlers of Alaska, and the statue of the Old Pioneer was modeled after Skagway Bill Fonda. The Sheldon Jackson Museum houses an excellent collection of antique and modern Indian artifacts and totem poles. In its own way, this native art is a forceful and graphic history of the events that shaped the region. Nearby, Sheldon Jackson College operates a salmon hatchery, which visitors can observe from viewing platforms. Beyond the hatchery, the yacht harbor lies nestled in a beautiful natural harbor, one of the reasons why Sitka became the first capital of Alaska. In the early 1900s, the swell of gold rush activity moved Alaska's political and economic focus north to the town of Juneau. Juneau is a busy, modern city thrust against a 15,000 square mile ice-capped range of mountains with water on the other side. In Alaska, nature dwarfs human achievement, and yet up against these elemental forces, the people persist and even thrive. Not only do they thrive, they have fun. Juneau still has the rollicking energy of those two miners, Joe Juneau and Richard Harris, who discovered gold here in the 1880s. In the 1940s, the mines closed and government replaced mining as the chief occupation. But Juneau never lost that frontier sense of optimism and excitement. There are, of course, all the modern buildings that one would expect in a state capital, but the real flavor of Juneau is that of the Old West. It's not hard to imagine what those days and nights were like during the peak of the gold boom. And still today, the Alaska Hotel, with its antique furnishings, shows what a visitor to this town could expect in the way of accommodations back in the days when gold was king and Victoria was queen. But unlike old western towns of the lower 48, Juneau has a glacier within walking distance. The famous Mendenhall Glacier is receding, and as it does, the land-hungry people of Juneau follow it with buildings. Because of its geographic limitations, the city of Juneau has trouble finding the space it needs. Ironically, it's actually the second largest city in the world in terms of geographical size, but one of the smallest in terms of usable space. It's the capital of the state of Alaska, but a capital without room to grow. In 1974, the people of Alaska voted to move the state capital to Anchorage, but they never voted in the funds for the move. Today, Juneau remains the political capital, but because of its location and its room for growth, Anchorage has become the financial capital of Alaska. To any big city dweller, Anchorage seems like a small town. Yet fully half the population of this immense state resides here. This gives you some idea how sparsely populated the rest of the state is. Despite its small size by lower 48 standards, Anchorage has its share of city hustle and bustle. The city of Anchorage dates back to the late 19th century, when it was a tent city for gold miners and fur trappers. Fur trapping is still a major industry in Alaska, and Anchorage is the central marketplace for some of the most exotic and high-quality furs in the world. The Fur Rendezvous celebration takes place in Anchorage each winter. It's been called the Mardi Gras of the North. It evolved from a gathering of fur trappers to a rip-roaring celebration which features such delightful events as outhouse and canoe races. In addition to furs, Anchorage offers unique opportunities to buy native art and craft items from throughout the state. To the Alaskan native, art was and is a way of life. Every object used in the routines of daily life was turned into an object of art. Scrimshaw, ceremonial masks, and ivory carvings are but a few of the art forms available in these shops. One of the more popular day trips from Anchorage follows the Seward Highway along Turnagain Arm, past the Potter Point State Game Refuge on the way to Portage Glacier. Potter Flats, a mere 10 miles from Anchorage, is a wonderful place to view wildfowl. Over 130 species of migratory birds feed and nest here. The road to Portage Glacier also passes several areas where salmon spawn in creeks adjacent to the road. Just inside the park, a viewing platform extends out onto the water for a bird's eye view of this natural spectacle. Portage Glacier itself is one of the most photographed spots in Alaska. This clear blue lake with its thousands of floating icebergs becomes a playground for hundreds of visitors every day. Some 70 miles south of Portage Glacier, the highway and the Alaskan Railroad end at the foot of the Chugach Mountains and the port town of Seward. Seward has been an important connection to the outside world since it was founded in 1903. These pilings are all that remain of the original cannery and port facility after the 1964 earthquake. But the port was rebuilt and stands today as one of the best equipped fishing ports in the western United States. In addition to its extensive commercial fishery, Seward is one of Alaska's favorite spots for ocean sport fishing. The salmon in Resurrection Bay are sometimes so thick they seem to push each other out of the water. But there's more to do than fish in Seward. The Kenai Fjords National Park offers some of the most beautiful scenery and abundant wildlife in all of Alaska. Several private charters take visitors on day-long trips from Seward into this relatively new national park. And the experience is unforgettable. These enchanting fjords, stretching from Seward to the southern tip of the Kenai Peninsula, are the flooded valleys left by the ancient glaciers and provide the ideal habitat for thousands of migratory birds and a multitude of rare and beautiful animals. As the boat rounds the point of each new bay or fjord, a unique and stunning panorama unfolds. Majestic bald eagles nest on the isolated islets left by the weathering of surf and wind. Dramatic rock arches jut out of the azure waters, framing the distant glaciers and echoing the sounds of the surging swells. The playful dolphins can often be seen riding the waves created by the wake of the boat. For the seals and sea lions, these calm waters provide an ideal calving ground. The only danger they face is an occasional lunge onto the rocks by an aggressive killer whale, a natural enemy to these smaller sea mammals. And then there are the birds, thousands of them. Over 175,000 birds of some 18 species, including the famous puffin, make their nests here every year. Sea otters are perhaps the most lovable of all the seagoing mammals. These living treasures of the Northwest were almost hunted to extinction for their luxurious pelts. Protective legislation has now increased their chances for survival, at least here in Kenai Fjords National Park. At the southern tip of the Kenai Peninsula is Homer, a commercial fishing port that has become popular with sports fishermen and campers alike. Perhaps best known for its great halibut fishing, Homer also boasts wonderful salmon, trout, crab, and shrimp fishing. Much of the town is located on a 4.5-mile spit of land that juts out into Kashimak Bay. On one side of the spit lies the harbor, home of a large commercial fishing fleet and some 80 sports fishing charter boats and hundreds of small private craft. Homer is one of the favorite places to fish for Alaska's famous giant halibut. Fish over 100 pounds are common, and very few fishermen are disappointed in these halibut-rich waters. The beach across from the harbor provides a clear view of St. Augustine, an active volcano that last erupted in 1986, spewing ash over much of this area. Nearby, the Valley of 10,000 Smokes on the Alaskan Peninsula provides a close look at an area of active volcanic activity. Beginning 100 miles southwest of Homer, this area is the site of a massive volcanic eruption which occurred in 1912. The explosions that created this moonscape were so immense that they were heard 750 miles away in Juneau. This area is also one of the most popular sports fishing regions in Alaska, if not the world. The Alaskan Peninsula is almost entirely devoid of roads, and the bears make the trails. Here, as in many parts of Alaska, the small plane is the main means of transportation, and the many fishing lodges scattered throughout the region rely heavily on small float planes to get their guests to the spectacular fishing grounds the Alaskan Peninsula is famous for. Nearly a dozen species of freshwater game fish inhabit this unique area, which has produced more world records than any other part of Alaska. The Bristol Bay Basin is home to the largest sockeye or red salmon runs in the world. Each summer, millions of mature salmon averaging 8 pounds migrate back to Bristol Bay tributaries to spawn. Following the call of some ancient instinct, the mature fish swim up their native rivers from the ocean, across the lakes, and into the smallest creeks to the place of their birth. Upon reaching their breeding grounds, the salmon mate, spawn, and then die, leaving their flesh to fertilize this delicate ecosystem. The trillions of eggs spawned on each streambed become a prime food source for predatory fish such as this fat rainbow. Iliamna Lake, the second largest lake in the United States, is the nursery for what are thought to be the largest rainbow trout in the world. Pound for pound, these rainbows put up a better fight than any other game fish. On the coastal rivers, fresh silver salmon provide unforgettable fishing for even the most jaded angler. These fish, just entering the streams, are full of the strength they will need for their long journey. All of the Pacific salmon enter freshwater as bright silver-sided fish, but eventually change color and shape as they move upstream to their spawning beds. Other animals make their homes in these waterways. Beavers often change the course of the rivers, and another creature makes his presence known by a network of trails and indentations in the grass. The coastal brown bears are the largest land-living carnivores in the world today. The Alaskan brown can weigh up to 1,300 pounds and can grow to 8 or 9 feet in length. Although they are cousins of the grizzly, the coastal bears are much better tempered and present little or no danger to prudent visitors. During the fishing season, these magnificent creatures are completely preoccupied with eating and scarcely seem to notice their human visitors as they devour fish after fish, storing up to 1/3 of their body weight in rich protein for the coming winter. One of the most popular places to watch the activity of bears in Alaska is here at the Brooks River. This short river is the site of several extensive salmon runs and the predictable return of large numbers of bears each summer. Several hundred miles northeast of the Alaskan Peninsula, Mount McKinley makes a spectacular centerpiece for one of the world's most awe-inspiring national parks. Nowadays, more often called by its original Athabascan name, Denali, meaning the high one, this largest mountain in North America is the proud pinnacle of the 600-mile Alaskan range. Due to its immense size, Denali affects the local atmospheric airflow patterns and actually creates its own weather systems. As a consequence, the mountain is often shrouded in clouds and hidden from view within the park, while it can be clearly seen from hundreds of miles away. The 90-mile road leading into the heart of the Denali Wilderness area offers easy access to what is truly one of the most dramatic wilderness experiences left anywhere in the world. This delicate ecosystem has been protected from the fate of so many of our national parks by a policy limiting traffic into the park to shuttle and tour buses. This restriction actually enhances the Denali experience. In this more peaceful environment with uncluttered roads, the animals come much closer to the road than they did before the restrictions were imposed. And there are other ways to see the park. Several companies offer flight-seeing excursions into the park, and raft trips are available on the nearby Nenana River. The river trip features Class 1 and 2 rapids most of the year, so there's not much chance of getting wet. A safe adventure that is fun and suitable for the whole family. Alaska's northernmost major commercial center is the town of Fairbanks. Once a booming gold rush town, modern Fairbanks still sits on Alaska's frontier. It's the home of the University of Alaska and a jumping-off point for activities in the roadless north. The university is a research center for Alaska's agricultural and technological development and the site of one of the state's most prestigious museums. The Fairbanks Museum houses elaborate displays on native Indian and Eskimo culture, wildlife, and technology. These exquisite examples of ornate apparel were fashioned from the many natural materials available to the native Alaskan. The beauty and craftsmanship of the artifacts on display here reflect a worldview that is as worthy of preserving as the endangered species that once shared this great land with its first human inhabitants. Gold fever still kindles the Alaskan imagination, and nowhere is it more contagious than in Nome. There's still millions of dollars worth of gold trapped in this frozen ground, and there are still quite a few people making a living mining here. In fact, the Alaska Mining Company recently offered to move the entire city of Nome to a nearby location, which it had already worked, just so it could retrieve some of the ore trapped beneath these historic streets. Before 1898, the year the three lucky Swedes discovered gold here, there really was no city of Nome. The following year, gold was discovered in the sands of this beach, and within 2 years, Nome's population swelled to make it the biggest city in Alaska. The miners who built this town were so numerous on the beaches here that they measured their claims by how far they could reach with a shovel. A walk down Front Street in Nome is like a trip back through time to the Old West. Old-time saloons still line the streets, and fur trappers still work the surrounding hills, using Nome as their base. Several Eskimo villages use Nome as their connection to the outside world, but the real world of the Eskimo begins a little further north. Kotzebue is a town of a little over 2,000 people, 80% of them Eskimo, and still basically a subsistence culture. This is a harsh, wild place at the end of the earth, pressed against the cold Arctic Sea. Hunting and fishing are primary sources of livelihood. Kotzebue sits on a peninsula near the location of the ancient Bering Land Bridge, which was the route of those earliest Americans on their trek from Asia to this new land. There is archaeological evidence here of settlements going back for millennia. It's this historical perspective that gives the native people of this region the strength to resist the pressures of an imported culture and to preserve their own ways.
We've lived in this area for thousands of years. This is an ancient living area for the Inupiaq people. And we've lived in harmony with nature. We've lived pretty much in harmony with ourselves. And we believe that the values that we currently have are going to allow us to continue to live here in harmony with nature and one another.
The native people here have a true resource in their own proven traditions. Modern cultural innovations are accepted when they serve a purpose, but there is an increasing awareness that for a hunting and gathering people, the old proven ways work best. Here in this living museum of the Arctic, the elders of the village preserve knowledge of this endangered culture to share with visitors who get an unusual opportunity to observe the native culture. In the museum, the elders have created a vital, ongoing school to pass their wisdom about their own world to the youth of the culture. Ever since Admiral Perry, the people of the lower 48 have been learning that the Eskimo approach is uniquely suited to a unique environment. These handmade parkas trap body heat and provide ventilation. And the blanket toss, which is now a lively game, served a real survival need in the predominantly flat land with no hills or trees for vantage points. Hunters were tossed up as many as 30 feet into the air, allowing them to survey the terrain and spot game in the distance. This Eskimo version of the latter served a purpose and worked. The imported technology doesn't always work as well as the time-tested ways in this environmentally sensitive land. Here we see a house which must be fitted with an active refrigeration system to keep it from melting the permafrost beneath it and sinking into the ground. Like the tundra around it, the culture of these hardy people is a fragile and sensitive thing. Tundra, once scarred, remains scarred forever. These people know that they're trying to reverse an historical trend by refusing to change the basic elements of their culture. But they feel that it's worth the effort. They know that they are survivors, but they don't just want to survive, they want to survive with dignity and joy. Part of the magic of Alaska is that her most profound experiences may come when least expected. The beaten path may offer many wonders, but the moments that last forever may sneak up on you like the Chinook winds and linger like an Alaskan sunset.
You know who that one looks like?
Oh, look at that one.
Well, they told about the lineage of families and clans
What
or
kind
great
of disclosure
chiefs.
do I use it?
Sometimes they told about events or legends, and sometimes they were made for special events.
Tlingit Indians.
Oh, we were on the boat. Yeah, and no, we were in the truck.
We crossed the border at White Pass. Can't wait till we get to Skagway.
Oh, boy.
started in 1898, and the railroad was finished in 1900.
My grandfather walked over this trail. Can you believe that?
I'm glad we get to ride. Oh, I've got to get a picture.
Now we come here 36 years ago to this place here. And we mined here with practically every make of gear that you can ask for. We gonna dig with big machinery now, and there's a lot of gold in this country. There's a lot of gold in this creek. But you got to know how to dig it out. They don't come up and kiss you by any means.
It's just the cheapest way to get a nugget. Keep the pans down as much as possible, because the gold, which is 9 times heavier than the average gravel it's found with, will sink to the bottom of the pan. So establish a lot of water in there and move all your gravel around, folks.
I gotta pee. What does it look like? Just a little teeny. It glitters in the sun, that's how you can tell.
Western 608, turn to 150, vector to follow traffic. Wayne 45, you're following a northwest orient, 747, 10 miles.
watching all the way across because it's 4 miles across.
Oh, 40 miles long to the source?
41 miles long and 4 miles wide at the face.
Yeah. You come in here on a sunshiny day and most of it will appear white.
Well,
rather
look
than
here.
blue like this. It's because of the diffusion of the light because of the clouds.
Water splashing up because the water in front of the glacier is very dirty, silty, so it looks like that.
Thank you.